The knitting method used in this video is called combination knitting. However, the decrease technique demonstrated can be worked using any knitting style. Annie Modesitt's alternative left slanting decrease. A tale of two decreases. Once upon a time there was a stitch named Sam. Sam had a friend named Randy. They were the best of friends. Sam and Randy did almost everything together. After a discrete interval, they decided to form a decrease. So Randy leaned on Sam and they made a right slanting decrease. And it was beautiful. So straight and so lovely. Meanwhile, in a different row, a stitch named Sid was looking for something to do. His friend Leslie happened to come along on the needle. So Leslie proposed that they make a decrease too. Sid was flattered by the attention. Stitches are very easily led. Leslie leaned against Sid and they formed a knit two together left. But it was awful. It was uneven and wobbly. There were tears and recriminations. Leslie and Sid were bereft. Sid blamed Leslie. Leslie internalized the anger. They fought. Oh, why can't a left decrease look as good as a right decrease? Reaching rock bottom, they sought counseling. Can this decrease be saved? Stitches are pack animals. They line up along a needle in a row. And when they form a right slanting decrease, they lean back onto their stitch posse. They're supported by the stitches which have been knit already. That's why right decreases are so beautiful. They've got backup. A left decrease is unattractive because it's insecure. Back to our row of stitches, all lined up and ready for a left decrease. Uh-oh, be careful. There's no support. The stitches feel as if they're falling off a cliff. The stitch is terrified. It feels abandoned. Wouldn't you? In order to make the left decrease just as beautiful as the right decrease, we need to support them as they decrease. Here's how I do it. Annie's alternative left slanting decrease. This technique will allow you to have a lovely decrease line for both right and left decreases. See the wiggly left slanting decrease line here? Compare that with the smooth left decrease line shown here. It's a two-step technique. The first step is a right side row. The second step is a wrong side row. Reminder, my stitches are seated on the needle in the combination style. If this confuses you, try to watch the technique, not the stitch mount. Step 1, right side row. Knit 2 with an opposite wrap. Work to the stitches to be decreased. Note the decrease line from the previous row. I sort of use this as a heads up that these are the decreased stitches. Knit each stitch wrapping in the opposite direction as you normally wrap. Let's see that again. Wrap each stitch involved in the decrease opposite of how you normally wrap your stitch. Continue to the end of the right side row. Step 2, wrong side row. Purl 2 together through the back loop. To create a decrease that slants to the left when viewed from the right side, we'll work a purl 2 together through the back loops of the stitches. On the wrong side row, work to the stitches to be decreased. These are the ones you've knit with an opposite wrap in the previous right side row. Note that the stitches to be decreased are seated differently on the needle. That's because you wrap them in the opposite direction. To avoid twisting these stitches, you must purl them through the back loop. But we're decreasing, so we must work 2 stitches together. Here's a demonstration of inserting the needle to purl 2 together through the back loop. Let's see the insertion again. This is how it looks when the needle comes through. For demonstration purposes only, I'll show you how the needles are aligned when viewed from the right side. This is a demonstration only. Note that the working needle points to the left when viewed from the right side. This would be true of all left slanting decreases. The working needle will point to the left when you're decreasing with a left slant. You may remember my observation from previous videos. A decrease will slant in the same direction that the working needle points. The working needle points to the left when viewed from the public side. The decrease will also slant to the left. Once the needle is inserted into the purl stitches through the back loop, purl them together using whatever method you prefer. Here, combination purling is shown. And here, Western purling is shown. Give this technique a try and see if it works for you. More information on combination knitting can be found at Modesitt.com, or check out my online knitting classes on combination knitting and other stuff at onlineknittingclasses.com. All rights reserved, copyright 2010, Modesitt.